I'm here to help you go into a Japanese eating area as politely and as least awkwardly as possible. If you've never been to Japan, you probably don't really know the customs about how the Japanese are when they go into an eating establishment. You're either going to encounter a super casual environment or something that's a little bit more formal and has a server and will seat you at some kind of table. If you're entering into a casual environment, you can usually just sit wherever. Whenever you go in, you'll probably hear the words "irashaimase."
Irashaimase!
And that's just welcoming you into their store and their establishment. If they say that to you, the best thing to do is to say konnichiwa or konbanwa, which means hello or good evening. Since they're going to be giving you good service, you want to be as nice and polite as possible. So if you go into a place that has no chairs, it's just really low tables, you're going to find these things called zabuton, which are just little seat cushions, and they'll probably be stacked up in the corner, and all you do is you just grab one and you either sit cross-legged on it or you fold your legs underneath. So let's say you and your friends want to go get ramen. You can recognize a traditional ramen place because you will say noren on the front, which are traditional Japanese fabrics, like square fabrics that exist, and you can like pull them apart and you can go in. It's super traditional. I love it. Or maybe it's just a normal door. I'm not saying that all good ramen places have noren on the front. So the server, they're gonna ask you how many people are in your party. And the best way to respond is just saying the Japanese number followed by nin, unless it's 1 or 2 people, because it sounds a little bit different here. So one person is hitori, futari, 3人, 4人, 5人, 6人, 7人, 8人, 9人, 10人. So you just follow the Japanese number with nin, and that's about it, unless it's 1 or 2. So whenever the server comes to you, the conversation might go a little bit like this. Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa. 何名様ですか? あ、1人です。ご注文は何ですか? これお願いします。これで以上ですか? はい、以上です。はい、わかりました。ありがとうございます。Feel free to slurp. A lot of Japanese people slurp because it keeps their lips from getting burned from the hot noodles. And also, if you get used to it, it's actually cleaner. Like there's less spill and less on your clothes. A lot of people will literally eat hunched over on the table and like sweat dripping down their face because the steam from the ramen is in their face. And because they know that you're foreign, they may ask you, フォーク欲しいですか? Which means, do you want a fork? Because they're not sure if you can use chopsticks. But if you are comfortable using chopsticks, then you can say, お箸でいいです. If you do want to take it out, then you say, 持ち帰りお願いします. Or if you need a fork, you can say, フォークお願いします. So whenever you're done, the easiest thing to do is just motion for your check. This works in pretty much every country, where you just kind of raise your hand in motion, and then you kind of write on your palm, and they'll know that you're ready for your check. And when you leave, it's really important to say thank you and thank you for the meal so that they know that you gave them really good service. The way you say this is you say ごちそうさまでした. And I like to say this as I'm walking out the door, and usually you're bowing at the same time. It's just the way we do it. The Japanese just love to bow. We love it. Don't worry if you can't remember all of this. Most Japanese people know just enough English just to get the point across and will understand just as much. So hopefully these phrases will come in handy to you. And if they know English, well, that's all the better in terms of making you more comfortable in Japan. And that's about it for the video. So hopefully this is useful for you, and hopefully you will really enjoy eating out in Japan, because Japan has some of the best food in the world. And don't be afraid to try something new, because you might surprise yourself. さよなら。じゃあね。